Hey everyone, welcome to the quote of the day. Today's quote is from a man named Leo Rosten, and this is it. The purpose of life is not to be happy, but to matter, to be productive, to be useful, to have it make some difference that you lived it all. And that's a quote that I've long enjoyed. I like to give a lot of thought to the purpose of my life, the meaning in my life, and it just really makes it all succinct. That while I'm a big believer in being happy, and I think everyone should pursue happiness, that ultimately it is not about happiness. Happiness is a byproduct of a life full of meaning and purpose, that it made a difference that I lived. I think the book that drove this home for me more than any other book or anything else in my life is a book by Viktor Frankl. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And he was a very famous psychiatrist prior to World War II. He lived in Austria, but he was Jewish. And so during World War II, he was rounded up and put in Auschwitz. Like all the other Jews, he was slated for termination. And so during his time in Auschwitz, he endured various camps. He started in Auschwitz, and he was a slave laborer. But because he was a doctor, he had more value than most Jews did, and so he managed to stay alive through it. But during his time in Auschwitz and in the various concentration camps, extermination camps of World War II, he came to see in the people around him that those who lived the best and the longest were those who had meaning in their life. And so he formulated a theory of a psychological theory that he's become very famous for, called logotherapy. And the concept is that what man needs above everything else is purpose and meaning. Man's primary drive is to find meaning in his life. And I think that most of us can relate to that. Few of us will have ever gone through anything like a concentration camp. But I think most of us can relate to the concept of, I need a purpose and a meaning in my life. Myself, I went through a big midlife crisis when I was 40 years old, precipitated by my divorce. And then when I moved into a van, I was stuck finding out that for the first time in my life, I was happy and my life had meaning and purpose by living in a van, and that just made no sense, and that changed the course of my life. Well, I don't know about you, and I can't speak for you, I can't speak for anyone but myself, but I think the great wisdom traditions of Western civilization have pointed out that meaning and purpose is the single most important thing in life. And if you have that, you have what's important. And Viktor Frankl proved that, I think, in the camps of World War II, that those who had purpose lived longer and lived better than those that did not. Those who had no meaning in their life, once everything in their life that could provide happiness was stripped away, there was nothing left, they quickly died. They gave up and died. Those who had a reason to wake up in the morning woke up the most mornings. And he woke up every morning of his life in the camps, and then went on to change the world. Literally, Frankl had a tremendous impact on the world. I don't know what your purpose is. I know what mine is. I know what my calling and purpose in life is, and I'm endeavoring every day to live it, to fulfill it. But I would really suggest that each of you today keep this quote in mind and search for your own purpose and meaning. What difference will it have made to me that I lived on the earth today? I'm going to read that quote again, and I hope you'll ponder it and determine to live a life of meaning and purpose, that it mattered that you lived. Leo Rosten said, "The purpose of life is not to be happy, but to matter, to be productive, to be useful, to have made some difference that you lived at all." So I hope that speaks to you and that you can get something out of it today. Talk to you tomorrow.